Now, if we're going to build the argon atom here, then we're going to have to first of all pay attention to the Aufbau principle, which states that we start adding electrons to the lowest energy levels available. So the lowest energy level here is going to be our 1s sublevel. And we remember that we can add 2 electrons to our 1s sublevel, and they're going to have opposite spin. And next we can add 2 electrons to our 2s. And here we end up with now 4 electrons, and we have to add another 14. So we move on, and our next orbitals that we're going to fill are going to be the 2px, the 2py, and the 2pz orbitals in the 2p sublevel. And so our first electron can be added to our 2px sublevel. And so remember that according to Hund's rule, we have to add electrons then to add 1 electron to each of the orbitals. Each of the orbitals, and the spin has to be identical for those electrons. And so then we add again to our 2pz orbital, and here's Hund's rule in effect. So here we can see that the electrons are going to have 1 electron in each of the 3 orbitals in the 2p sublevel, and they're all going to have the identical spin. And now we can start adding the second electron to each of the orbitals. So now we're going to add our second electron to our 2px sublevel, add our second electron to our 2py sublevel, and then add our second electron to the third orbital in our 2p sublevel, and that's going to be full now. So now we have our 2p sublevel completely filled. And note that the Pauli Exclusion Principle here states that no two electrons within the same atom can have the same 4 quantum numbers. And what that means is that, for example, in this orbital, the 2p x orbital, we're going to have 1 electron that is energy level 2, sublevel p, and then orbital x, and 1 electron in there is going to have a +1/2 spin, and the other one's going to have a -1/2 spin. So every electron within an atom is going to have different, the 4 quantum numbers are going to be different, and that's the Pauli Exclusion Principle. So now we can move on to our next sublevel, which is going to be our 3s. And remember that our 3s sublevel can hold up to 2 electrons. So now we move on to our 3px, 3py, and 3pz orbitals. And in each of those, we can add 1 electron to start before, and again, according to Hund's rule, we have to add 1 electron to each of these orbitals before we go back and add our second electron. And so now we have 18 electrons added, and you'll note that we've got opposite spin within each of these orbitals.